Just to recap where we're holding over here, the Mishnah said, Nafal Agin, if someone's animal fell into a garden, Venenis, and it benefited, Mishalemetz Mashanenis, the owner has to pay for what his animal benefited. We explained that there are two ways an animal could benefit by going into someone's yard. Number one, it could eat the person's grain. And number two, it could be cushioned and protected from injuring itself by falling on the owner's grain. Now, the Gemara says that Rav says, Amar Rav benech bita, that when the Mishnah says that the owner has to pay mashanenis, it is talking about benech bita, when it hit the grain, and that is the time that the owner has to pay for the damage that it caused. This would seem to imply that if the animal ate the grain, a different halacha applies. And the Gemara asks, what is the halacha if the animal hits the grain? Because Rav only said if it's squished, he pays mashanenis. What does Rav hold in a case of where it ate the fruit? So the Gemara today starts off with a new understanding of the Gemara. And the Gemara says like this, that it's a classical loimi bai, which means, and I'll explain over here, it means a not only, and which means if it ate the grain, it is simple that the owner has to pay mashanenis, right? Obviously the owner must pay what the animal gained. Why should he get off scot-free? But what Rav was saying was that even when it landed and squished the grain, he has to pay. Now, because in this case, you would have thought that maybe he'd be pater. Why would he be pater if his animal squashed somebody's grain? And the answer is, the Gemara explains, it's because it's mavriach hari. Now, mavriach hari means, if let's say in our case over here, Shai sees a lion coming to Moshe's camel. So Shai takes his axe and he tosses it at the lion and chases it away. Now Shai then comes to Moshe and says that you have to pay me for my axe that I lost when I chased away your lion. I saved you a lot of money, cost me $20, so you have to pay me $20. Now Moshe could answer that, no, I don't. You were mavriach hari, and Rashi explains it's a mitzvah, and you'd have certainly done it even if you were not going to get paid, and therefore I'm pater. So the Gemara paskins, and in such a case, he's pater. So you would have thought, in our case, again, where Shmuel's sheep landed in Daniel's backyard, that Daniel, when he demands his money, and he says that you have to pay for my squished grain that cushioned your animal's fall, that Shmuel would have been able to say, no, I don't, because you're mavriach hari, and it's a mitzvah, and you would have certainly done it even if you were not going to get paid, and therefore I'm pater. So the Gemara Kamash Malon, that he is chayiv to pay, and we do not apply mavriach hari. So just to understand again what Rav said, when Rav said benech bita, that you're chayiv when the animal cushioned his fall, he didn't mean only over here. He meant it's simple when the animal ate the grain that he has to pay, but even here he has to pay mashanenis, and we do not apply the regular patur of mavriach hari. Now the question is, why isn't it a mavriach hari? It seems to be that he's protecting his friend's animal from damage, which is a mitzvah, and therefore he should not be compensated for any loss that he took. So the Gemara answers like this, gives two answers. And the answer number one is that mavriach hari, where the owner, the mavriach, the one that chases away the lion, cannot get paid, is only when the owner is doing it with his knowledge. He knows that he's being mavriach hari. In our case, Daniel, the owner, didn't know that he was doing mavriach hari, and therefore it's not considered mavriach hari. Additionally, the Gemara gives another answer, is mavriach hari is when there's no loss of money. But over here, in our case, the owner suffered a loss.